Folks, the reason we can bring you breaking news, uncensored daily shows, and of course, Ben React, is because of your support. If you're not yet a member, now would be the time to join the fight. It's just beginning, folks. Go to dailywire.com/subscribe. Use code TRUMP for 47% off your new Daily Wire Plus annual membership. That is Kamala Harris, Vice President of the United States. She has just given her concession address. She is headed out, and lady, don't let the door hit you or the good Lord split you. I gotta say, she was a little more naturalistic than usual. Obviously, she's a permanent resident of the Uncanny Valley, so she can only take short trips outside the Uncanny Valley. She seemed to make it almost to the border of the Uncanny Valley that time, but unfortunately, she was then dragged screaming back to the center of the Uncanny Valley for the finale of the speech, where she talked about how there would be 1 billion points of light, not just 1,000, 1 billion, yay, perhaps 1 trillion, perhaps 1 trillion. So many points of light because, you know, when it gets real dark, you can see the stars outside. And that means that now that it's really dark, you can be a star too, just like J-Lo or something. Here's the thing about Kamala Harris. She was a big nothing burger. Her candidacy was a big nothing burger. She has always been a big nothing burger. And that little concession speech was also a big nothing burger. So there are a few things she could have said that would have been useful. Like, for example, you remember that time I said that my opponent's Hitler? Yeah, you're going to be fine. She said you're going to be fine. But it's very hard to square that with my opponent is Hitler and you need to vote to stop him. And everyone around him is also Hitlerian. Right? That's a very difficult thing to square. It is very difficult to square all the things that she said on the campaign trail about the threats to America. There will be giant internment camps, what Democrats were saying. That every woman in America was going to be put under the gun. That essentially all rights would be stripped from you with the sort of inspirational rhetoric she was using right there. And here's the thing. If she had campaigned as this Kamala Harris, maybe she would have had a better shot. If she hadn't tried the scare tactic of claiming that Donald Trump was Hitler with 7 mustaches and more orange, if she hadn't tried that, maybe people would have taken her more seriously, or maybe they wouldn't, because it turns out that was just a bunch of platitudinous nonsense. Again, in the end, the thing about Kamala Harris is nothing, because she is nothing. She is a stand-in for a party machine. That speech could have been given by 1,000 different Democrats, nay, 1 billion stars of Democrats. It could have been any Democrat in the United States who gave that list of platitudes and bumper stickers that mean absolutely nothing when ripped out of any sort of context or any sort of meaning. And because that is the case, what you have to do is look behind the facade that is Kamala Harris of the Democratic Party. And that's the reason she lost. The app you need to download right now is called ExpressVPN. It encrypts and reroutes 100% of your internet activity through secure servers, so no one can get their hands on your data and then use it against you. ExpressVPN is the only VPN I trust to protect my privacy, which is why you can get 3 extra months of it for free by using my special link, expressvpn.com/election. That's expressvpn.com/election for 3 extra months for free. As you know, I've been trusting ExpressVPN with my own tech security for years. You should do the same, expressvpn.com/election. Honestly, I would feel bad for her if I thought that she actually were a real human being. But the fact that she is an NPC and that she effectively is just a stand-in for a party, don't feel bad for the party that she represents, because that party is lying to you. They put up these platitudes and these bumper stickers so you don't look through the veil. They don't want you to see the actual policies they pursue. This lady who says that she was a prosecutor, this same person suggested on a questionnaire from the ACLU that taxpayers should fund the transition of illegal immigrant prisoners. This same person who is talking about be friendly to the stranger who you just meet on the street, that same person was personally attempting to bail rioters out of prison during the George Floyd riots in Minneapolis. The same person who is telling you that young people, you ought to have hope in the future, was also telling young people that they effectively don't have any hope in the future unless they're having their student loan debt relieved by the grace of government. The agenda does not match the rhetoric. It never matched the rhetoric. The rhetoric is completely empty because Kamala Harris is completely empty, and that's why she deserved to lose. It's why no one, I noticed that for all the talk in the media about how she was brat and joy and a wonderful candidate, Joy Reid said she ran a flawless campaign. That for all of that, ain't nobody talking about her running again in 2028. Weird. If she's that great a candidate, they should be talking about that. Nobody's talking about that. So I think we can all bid a fond farewell to Kamala Harris from the public scene. We can bid a fond farewell to Tim Walz, who will be as memorable as Tim Kaine, meaning that in about 6 months' time, you won't remember who he is, except he sort of reminded one of Don Rickles in some sort of bizarre way. It's a cross between Don Rickles and Gumby. And that's going to be the last you hear of Kamala Harris. So once again, goodbye to Kamala Harris. Raise a glass at your exit.